Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Growth Coach 007, the James Bond of growth. My name is Danny Milivojevic, and you can find me on Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, my Facebook page at Growth Coach 007. Today's topic is my blog, which is 15, but the topic and the heading is motivating others. So, before in my life, I had a really hard time motivating others because I was a fat person who had 113 kilos. I was severely obese. I was a person who was on the verge of suicide. I was diagnosed as a schizophrenic. I was doing plenty of drugs. And basically my life was going down a negative spiral and I was basically going nowhere. So I was not able to motivate anyone because I was what they call a hypocrite. So I could never be able to motivate anyone because I never kept my word. I was always lying. I was always with the wrong crowd. I was always doing the wrong things, and I was never learning from my mistakes back then. And I thought I was some big shot person, but that person who I was back then is nowhere near the person I am today, and I never ever want to go back to relive life because it's not worth it. The person I am today is worth it. So the reason I tell you to motivate others, the reason my heading today is motivating others, and why is that? Well, the reason being is that if you want to get somewhere in life, if you want to become a positive role model, you have to be more of a leader. So to be more of a leader is required to better yourself. So when you want to motivate others, you have to start improving yourself. You have to start loving yourself. But the reason why motivating others is so important today is because you want to be a positive role model. And to be a positive role model, a person needs to improve themselves to be able to influence others to his way of thinking or her way of thinking. Because what are you trying to achieve today in the world? If you want to influence people, you have to motivate people to do something. You have to persuade people. So to persuade people is to motivate someone to do something, right? And the best way you can motivate someone in life is to gain more wisdom. It's to become better. It's to surround yourself around positive people who can basically, who can just vibe with you and who can understand you, but who can love you also. You want to be able to lift yourself up when no one's looking, because the more you lift yourself up, the more you can basically go where you want to go and do what you want to do. But the main thing is you want to be able to change people's lives. So in order to do that, a person has to be able to focus on themselves and be able to love themselves 100%. Because if you're not keeping your word today, if you're not honest about what you are saying, then you're not going to be able to influence people. You're not going to be able to have a business in life. A lot of people today are not motivating other individuals, and I'd love to actually see that more in the world, because I believe that a world full of motivation is a world that gets to their destination. So I just put that together right now. But it's the truth. If a person motivates you to become better, you're always going to feel better about that person. And that's what I want you to feel like. I want you to feel like you are a leader, that you are someone in life, that you can persuade, that you have the conversation skills, that you have the controversial skills, that you have the life skills, that you have the finance skills, that you have everything you ever need in life to motivate another individual. All right. And this is a big subject. This is not just like, oh yeah, this is what you do and then just do that. No. This, when you motivate individuals, this changes your life, because motivating others requires you to be centered in who you are. You have to be able to know where you are going, what you are doing, who you want to become, why you're doing things, how you do things, why you are doing things the way you do. Why do you work a 9 to 5 job? You have to know every single moment in your life. You have to be able to see your habits, and you have to be able to develop yourself into the person you want to become. You have to be able to expand your reality. You want to be able to expand the person you are. You don't want to become smaller. You want to actually become the best you can be. You want to become the best version of yourself, because the best version of themselves is the person that goes out leading people. If you want to lead people, then you have to motivate others. You have to, if you're going to have a company in your life, if you're going to have a business down the track, you have to learn what Jim Rohn does. You have to learn what Zig Ziglar does. You have to learn what Grant Cardone does. You have to learn what Gary Vee does, because they go out there, they teach people what to do. All right? They teach people. But they not just teach, they show people what to do. All right? It's not just about teaching, it's about showing what to do. See, a lot of people are all talk. They think they got a great lifestyle, and they think they got the best lifestyle, the best girlfriend, all this kind of stuff. And yes, that's all good, but they're not growing. They're not growing as people. All right? They're either drinking alcohol, they're doing drugs, they're doing things that are depressing them, they're making themselves upset, and 99% of the world is upset right now. They're not happy, they're empty, they got no joy in life. And in order to find that joy, sometimes you have to motivate others. Sometimes you have to step up and be better than yourself, so that you can go through life better than anyone else. Sometimes you have to go places where no one's ever been, in terms of where you want to go. Sometimes you have to grow yourself so that you can influence. If you want to influence, then you have to motivate others, because that's what influencing is. Influencing means motivating, right? If you're an influencer, you're a motivator. If that's where you want to be, then guess what? You have to learn leadership. You have to learn public speaking. You have to learn how to persuade. You have to learn how to sell. And guess what? It's the most exciting thing in the world. It's the most exciting. Developing yourself is so exciting. Growing yourself is the funnest thing you can do. I understand that the world every weekend goes to drink. I understand that they kill themselves slowly, that they kill themselves daily because of drugs. I understand that. But guess what? That's not the road you're going. That's not the road that you want to be in. You want to be able to influence your parents, influence the world around you, influence the community around you. You want people to put their eyes on you, to say, this guy, Danny Milivojevic, is the guy. He's the man. He's the influencer. He's the guy to go to. Because the more people speak about you, the more successful you're going to be. The only way you're going to leave a legacy is to become an influencer. That's why they have the 20 most greatest influencers in the world. If you see Hitler, he's one of those top 20 influencers that has, of the world, basically, of the 20th century. He's one of the top 20 of influencers in the world. And look at how many people he has killed. But the way he influenced people was the thing that got him to that stage. That's inspiring, to be able to lead 10 million people to kill people. And not many people can do that. But saying that, if you want to become someone, if you want to become better than you are, if you want to live life better, if you want to be more spiritual, if you want to do anything, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to be here, if you want to live now, if you want to have a girlfriend, if you want to have kids, if you want to be better with your parents, if you want to be more of a teacher, if you want to write something, if you want to have business, if you want to make money, you have to motivate other individuals, because guess what? When you motivate other individuals, that means you're managing them in some kind of way. You're mentoring them. And when you become a mentor, you become much more disciplined as a person. You have much more better structure to the way you work, to the way you do things. When you're able to motivate another individual to do something, you're going to feel greater intent to be better than yourself because you're making a difference in the world. No one in life who is influencing the world right now, who is positive, is making a negative impact in the world. Yes, there are people who are influencers, but they're doing the wrong thing. They're influencing in the wrong way. Yes, a person who drinks alcohol is influencing other people to drink alcohol. So there are two types of influencers. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the negative one who does drugs, or do you want to be the person who inspires? Because a person who does alcohol and drinks and criminal acts and gambles and watches pornography and all this kind of stuff, that's not a true influencer. That's nothing to be proud of. Right? A person who you want to be proud of is a person who has a great attitude, who has the skills necessary to be a leader, an actual leader, to be able to motivate individuals to look good as a person, to love themselves 100%, to be able to be selfless, to be successful, to go places in the unknown, to do things, to just live in the moment. You want to be able to just better yourself all the time because that's what it takes to be able to manage people. For example, Tony Robbins. You see Tony Robbins? Bro, the guy literally at the seminar, he freaking walks everywhere so everyone sees him. And for 4 hours of the day, he does 11-hour days. And he's just motivating individuals to take action. That's what he's doing. He's not doing anything else. Yes, they call him a business life coach, #1 in the world. But when he is on stage motivating, when he's on stage public speaking, he's motivating people to take action. He's motivating people to write down notes. If you tell someone to do something, you're trying to motivate that individual to become better. And that's what Tony Robbins is. That's what he's doing around the world. He's just going and he's very strong. And that's what you need to be doing. That's the kind of person you want to, you don't want to become just like Tony Robbins, but you want to become a person who has his kind of status, right? So when you have that status, you're the type of person who can go out and influence people. You're the type of person who can go out and sell things. You're the type of person who can go out and make money. You can do anything. You can have a girlfriend. You can do anything. And all you have to do is motivate others. But in order to motivate others, you have to start with yourself. You have to start with motivating yourself. Motivating yourself is the #1 option. It's the best thing that you can do. It's the best way you can go about things. When you don't motivate yourself, guess what? You die. As soon as you lose hope, that is the moment you stop motivating yourself. That's the moment you gave up. So motivating others is like giving hope to others. All right? You're giving others hope. You're motivating others. It's another word for hope. Motivating is another word for hope. So keep hoping, right? But keep doing. In order to do, you have to be basically more of who you want to be. You have to learn communication skills. You have to be in the body also. All right? You have to be present. You have to be focused on yourself. You have to be focused on your surroundings. You have to take action. To take action is to basically be able to move from one place to another, but take one slow step at a time. See, self-awareness is the epitome of motivating others. When you are self-aware, when you are able to be aware of yourself and of your surroundings, that's when you can take action because you are aware. You don't have to think to be self-aware. You don't have to say anything to be self-aware. You don't have to walk to be self-aware. You don't have to do anything to motivate others. All you need is yourself. But if you don't have yourself, then you cannot do anything else. That's why to have yourself, you need to be able to love yourself. You need to be able to go deep into yourself. You have to be able to plan. You have to be able to organize where you want to go, what you want to do. You have to be able to grow yourself daily. Because only by growing yourself daily can you motivate yourself. That's the only way that you can be better in life. The only way you can be better in life is not only to motivate yourself, but to motivate other people. If you see, for example, Jesus, right? He had 12 disciples. He was motivating his disciples. He was motivating the people around him, right? Not by what he was saying, but by what he was doing, right? To motivate people is never about what you are saying. It's about what you are doing in order to motivate others. All right. For example, me doing in this video would be sitting down in this chair, moving my hand movements, talking to you from the body, and also giving you information about how to better yourself as a person, but also making a video, then posting this video on the internet to help someone else, to motivate someone else, and then making other videos and other content to bring value into the world so that that value can go out and spread into more areas so that more people can become more positive, and also we have a better world like that. So that's in the doing. That's what you're doing. So doing is basically moving from one step to another, from one step to another, from one step to another. And you're thinking in step mode. What's the next step? What's the next step? You're not thinking about the step, right? Because to think would be thinking about the future, all right? Whenever you think, you're thinking about what's happening in the future. And this may be broad, but that's the way I want it. I want it to be like this. This is the way I want my videos to be, all right? Because when I get to broaden your mind, you get to have many ideas. When I talk about just one thing, that's all you ever get is one thing. But when I talk broadness, you get 1,000 ideas. And that's how I want to help unlock you to find that idea that you need to progress forward into your life. It's sort of like Tony Robbins. He does the same thing. He helps broaden your mind. He talks about a broad kind of range of ideas. And that one, there's an idea for everyone in that kind of broadness. That's broadness thinking. That's expansion. That's expanding your reality. You're not keeping to one thing. You're expanding it. You're talking about many things. And then throughout this video, you're gonna see how this video changes you, right? It changes you. It shows you where you need to go. It shows you the person that you want to become. All right, and that's the kind of person I am. I like to broaden people's mind. I talk from a broad perspective. I don't talk from one perspective. I talk from all perspectives, right? Because all perspectives is the best way to talk. You want to fill in people about everything in life, not just one thing, not just soy milk. You want to talk about soy milk, you want to talk about rice milk, you want to talk about all kinds of milk. You don't want to just talk about one thing. Talk about all things in life. So when you talk about all things in life, that's when you can motivate people. That's when you can do things. That's when you can go places. That's when you're doing stuff. You're living life to the edge. You're living life at your bravest. You're living life in your truth. You're living life as a spiritual being. You're living life as the person that you want to be. You're living life as someone who can help influence the world to become better. And that's how you motivate others. You motivate others by influencing, right? It's a mad subject, motivating others. To motivate, say for example, you have a little sister and she's negative, and then you motivate her to become positive. And then she becomes positive, and then she becomes the #1 influencer in the world. Like, imagine what kind of difference you made just through influence, through discipline, through life skills, whatever it is. You motivated her in that subject, right, in terms of positivity. You changed her perspective on things. And then she went out and inspired millions of people because of you. See, that's the kind of impact I'm talking about. That's what everyone needs to be doing. Everyone needs to be more positive in life. because positivity is always going to get you in a much better place in life than negativity ever will. I've been negative in life. I've taken drugs. I've been in rehab 4 months. I've been diagnosed as a schizophrenic. I gained 47 kilograms. I was empty from since 16 to 26. I was empty for 10 years. I had no joy in life. For 10 years, I had no joy at all. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was going. I had no business at all. I didn't know what a business was. I was basically very scared about business things. But once you keep learning, once you stick to one thing in life, for example, the word focus stands for focus on course until success. I'll repeat that. Focus on course until success. That's what focus means. So for example, in this focus, in this course of success, I talk about motivating others, but in a broad perspective, right? So I'm keeping to my focus. I'm keeping to my goal of what I want to do, and that's broaden your mind, all right? So I talk from that perspective. So now, to motivate others, you have to be able to broaden people's minds. You have to be able to give them ideas about where they want to go in life, all right? You want to find that course of action about what they need to do to take action. And now you're throwing ideas left, right, and center, and they're looking, what idea can I catch from this person to better my life? And that's the kind of thing that Tony Robbins does, right? He's basically doing the same thing, but with thousands of people in the room, right? He talks from a broad perspective. He walks, he's talking to people one by one, and he's answering their questions, and he's trying to fill the room with ideas so that the room goes out to inspire many other people. And that's how Tony Robbins is so inspiring. When you go and watch him, man, the guy is like, like this, and it's so electrifying when you hear him speak. I'm not saying that I want to be Tony Robbins. I'm not Tony Robbins. I'm Danny Milivojevic. I'm a different type of person. I'm a person. I've gone different paths in life to Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins was never a schizophrenic. Tony Robbins never gained 47 kilos and lost it. Right? I'm a different person to Tony Robbins, but I've got a different belief system. Right? I can teach different kind of ways. I can do different kind of things. I have different skill sets. I have different things. Right? So that's the thing about motivating others that I want to elaborate on, because it's so interesting when you think about it. Imagine a person who just betters himself in life. You better them, you better the person, and that person goes out and impacts the world, and then it comes back to you. Millions of people come to your seminars, they read your books, they appreciate you, they call you celebrity, they call you famous, whatever. But you got the fame, you got the legacy. You're helping people, you're broadening people's minds, you're being kind to the world, you're being generous, you're giving, you're rich, you have money, you can travel the world, you can do anything you want. But then it comes back to, are you happy or not? See, people who are not happy do not motivate anyone. Yes, they motivate people. So sometimes my things can be contradicting, right? Yes, people who are not happy motivate people, but in an unhappy way, right? They do unhappy things and they influence the world in unhappy ways. For example, there are two types of things. It's like the yin yang, right? You got, yes, there's happiness, people who influence the world through happiness, and people who influence the world through terror. Like people who influence the world through drama, people who influence the world in all different manners. It's the manner that you want to choose. What do you want to be? Do you want to be assertive? Do you want to be alpha? Do you want to be confident? Do you want to be calm? Do you want to be collective? Do you want to be content with yourself? Do you want to be independent? Do you want to be interdependent? Do you want to have a freaking large business? Do you want to have a small business but help many people? What do you want? Right? And that's the kind of thing that you need to figure out. That's the kind of thing that I will try to help you figure out. Right? It's about expanding the world with your mind, giving the world your perspective on life. about what you've learned, about who you are, about what you stand for, about your experiences, about where are you going, about what do you want to achieve, about the collective goals that you've planned for yourself, about how you plan, about how you think, about how you do things. It's about you, right? It's about other people. It's about me. It's about everyone, right? It's about this world. It's about the animals. It's about the plastic that's killing millions of freaking cockroaches, and it's about all the landscapes and how millions of animals are dying and killing the sea with the with the with the corpses and all that kind of stuff. So it's a big environment that we're talking about, right? So we have to expand, we have to keep going, and we have to basically broaden our context, which is reality. Context is reality. So the more you can expand your context, your vocabulary, because context is vocabulary. The more words you can use in your system, the more you can expand your reality, the more you can become rich. To expand your reality is to become rich. To expand your vocabulary is to become richer, all right? That's why they say when a person has a low level of vocabulary, they have a small world. But when you have a large vocabulary, you have a large world to talk about. Small people only like as Tony Robbins said, small thinkers only major in small things, right? If you want to be a big person in life, if you want to be an influencer who is massive, you have to major in massive things. Just like Tony Robbins says, that's his quote, right? That's why it's a famous quote from him. Motivating others is one of the best things you're going to do in life. And honestly, when every single day, when you have a chance to motivate someone, to be selfless in life, to teach someone something, to give value to someone, give it. Because when you give value, you never go wrong. Giving someone value boosts your status. It will boost who you are. All right. When you give money to someone, that person values you more. All right, because money is a form of value. All right. When you give your energy to someone, you're giving that person your time. Your time is value. All right. If you give your time to people, you are valuing that type of person. All right. If you eat 1,000 things in life, if you eat 1,000 foods in life, you're devoting your life to 1,000 different types of foods. But if you narrow those foods to only 33 foods that you eat, you can go into the store, boom, 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 boom. You already know what you're getting. You're not bombarded by the foods out there, and you're not bombarded to take a chocolate on the way out because you're disciplining yourself already to never take that chocolate, right? So that's the thing with cutting expenses also. The more financially free you can become, the more you can motivate others to become financially free, right? Not to become you, but to become financially free, because everyone can become financially free, but no one can be you, right? You cannot be me. I cannot be Tony Robbins. I cannot be anyone else but me. I'm the best at being me. Right? That's my uniqueness. You are the best at being you. When you are you, I am me, we are originals. You are original because you have your own set of beliefs. That's you as a broad mind, a person who is an original. So everyone has their own mind. Everyone has their own uniqueness in life. Everyone has the unique ability to influence other people in a positive way. So when you can influence the world in better ways, that means that you can go public speaking. That means that you can basically have the edge in life, right? So if you can persuade people to your way of thinking, if you can persuade people to better themselves, if you can persuade people to live and take action and also to go in the direction that you want them to go in, based on positive thinking, not negative. If you can influence the world through positive thinking, then you make the world better. That's why Tony Robbins has many CDs about ultimate edge lifestyle, about positive thinking, about how to better people's lives and how to motivate people and how to life coach people and all that kind of stuff. And that's why he is the #1 business strategist in the world, right? Because he does these kind of things, right? So that's why motivating others is going to lift you, because how can it not? When you motivate others in a positive way, that's the best thing you can do. Now, I'm not saying that I'm doing exactly like Tony Robbins. I'm not doing exactly like Tony Robbins. I'm speaking in my own kind of collective way about how I see the world and how I want to direct you into a world where you want to go, so that I can give you ideas so that you can go and motivate others, so that you can go better the world through your thinking. It's about bettering the world, impacting the world, making a business for yourself, and also making sure that you become the best version of yourself, so that you have a great attitude, so that you have a charisma about you. See, my tonality right now and my persona, basically my words, that's my personality. What's coming out of me right now is the attitude that I've cultivated to give you. All right, I've worked my ass off for this attitude that I currently have. This is not just some person just gets on video and does a video like this. No. This is me working behind the scenes 5 years to make this video for you. This is 5 years in the making, this video alone, right? This is not just freaking get up on the computer and talk about broadness. No. A person does not just do that. A person practices behind the scenes about what they're going to say, and then they just do it, right? The best way to learn is through doing, all right? If you're going to plan something, plan ahead. It's always good to plan ahead, but once you do it, it's totally different. It doesn't end up the same, all right? Yes, it ends up going the same way, but the way it happens is always different. I can plan this video and write every single thing I'll say in this video, and guess what? When I have no notes, it comes off different. There's no way for me to plan this video for you. There is only a way for me to learn what I'll say so that I can deliver for you. So that's why when you motivate people, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to know who you are. You have to know your craft. You have to know what type of person you've become so that you can go out and better the world through what you know. That's why it's so interesting when you are influencing others and they become happy. And then once you make the world happier, it comes back on you. You gain money, you gain status, you gain reputation, you gain everything you ever want, right? You can travel the world. How many people in the world want to become travelers, right? Everyone does. Everyone wants to travel the world. Everyone wants to do stuff. Everyone wants to, for example, go adventures and achieve success and be the best they can be, and also be happy and have joy, have that meaning inside. Because guess what? 50% of success comes from your genes. 40% of your happiness comes from the meaning you give your life. 90% of happiness has no recollection to money. It comes from your genes, 50%. 40% comes from your passion, all right? So my genes is 50%, and this passion that I have right now is my other 40% of my happiness. The other 10% is my nationality, my gender, my age, money, the amount of money I have in my account, and my circumstances and all that kind of stuff, all bunched together, right? In that 10%. So now you can see how much of money brings happiness. All right? Money cannot buy happiness, all right, at all. Money cannot buy happiness. Money only adds to happiness. So if you get $1,000 worth of money, you've just amplified who you are as a person. You have not bought happiness, you've just amplified who you are. Obviously, you're going to be much happier when you have $1 million than when you have $0, because you've amplified yourself 1 million times, right? So your happiness is 1 million times more when you have $1 million than when you have $0. But when you have $0, you still have happiness, right? Health is wealth. So in order to motivate others, you have to have health. You have to have basically what you need. And the way to get what you need is through books. You need wisdom. You need to grab people's wisdom, because the more people's wisdom you have, the more you can motivate others, the more you can go out and learn your craft. If you cannot learn your craft, then you cannot influence people based on what you want to do. You have to go out and seek people who have done what you've done. So you have to basically go out and learn from people who are basically your mentors. Who are your mentors? Who do you look up to? All right, so if you see a social media person on social media or on YouTube, and they're like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like whoever it is, Grant Cardone, for example, these guys are all influencing the world, but who are they influencing your countries? I'm sure you have singers, maybe someone that you really admire, but that you would like to emulate, that you would like to become. Not like exactly like that person, but you'd like to sing like them, in a kind of, have that kind of status, or have their learn from them. You want to be able to learn from that person. You don't want to actually become that person. You just want to learn from them. You want to learn from people who basically lift you up, who give you motivation to get up off your ass so that you can go out there and so that you can make a difference, instead of watching TV all day. You don't want to be watching TV all day. It's so boring. There's nothing on TV. You will never learn from anything from TV. The only thing that I can recommend for you is to watch YouTube videos that have educational programs, like business programs. Watch business programs. You got many programs like out there on finance from Robert Kiyosaki. You got finance, spirituality, personal development, confidence, clarity, motivational videos. Motivation. Well, what do you want? TED Talks. There's so many educational videos that you can watch right now to motivate yourself so that you can go out and motivate others. And that's all I'm saying, is the more you can basically become better and live better. And I always say, I actually have this quote. It goes, live better or go home. Because a lot of people in my area in Sydney, they say, go hard or go home. And that go hard or go home stands for go hard on the drugs or go home. Like, go hard on the drugs or we won't love you. And that's the kind of vibe Sydney has in some areas around negative people who are negative influences, all right? But then positive people look at go hard, go home as a go hard on yourself or go home. So I just say live better or go home, because it's so easy to understand that, right? And there's so many negative connotations going around in the news, and they're actually devaluing you rather than helping you, right? They're not helping you, they're devaluing the person you are. They are actually putting stuff in your head so that you become scared, so that you have scarcity, so that you can never go out and be an influencer. And that's why I stay away from the news. That's why I stay away from all these kind of things that they major in, right? Because they don't interest me. What interests me in life is focus, concentration. How do I make my focus and concentration lift? How do I have more organization? How do I have more clarity? How do I have more discipline? How do I have more self-control? How do I pick up women? How do I, like, these things interest me. How do I become much more alpha? How do I become more assertive? How do I motivate others? How do I public speak? How do I communicate? How do I, like, these are all positive things that you have to be learning in life. How do I build a business? How do I become a better human being? How do I become more spiritual? How do I live in the moment? How do I go on adventures? How do I become financially free? How do I learn financial IQ? How do I learn about tax so that I can better my life? How do I get around positive people? How do I go seminars? How do I give a seminar? Like, these are all things that you have to be learning if you want to be someone in life. To be honest, you cannot be doing drugs and be happy at the same time. A person who's doing drugs is not happy at all. They're not happy. People who are doing drugs in life are basically people who are energy vampires. They take your energy, right? They're people who will never be happy about the people in their lives. And that's why if you have a father, if you have a mother, if you have a brother, a sister who is so much on the drugs, all right, that they're negatively affecting you, then it's your right to get the fuck out. If someone in your family or in your life is negatively affecting you, you have to get the fuck out. You have to go somewhere to better your life. You cannot be around people who lift you down. You need to be around people who lift you up. You need to be around people who give you value. You need to be around people who give you value. You need to be around people who are giving you something to better your life. Because when you are around people who are giving you stuff to better your life, that means that you can learn your craft. That means that you can learn your craft so well that you can go out and influence people to do more of your craft, right? Because what's the whole point of living life? Everyone's got different things to say about life. Everyone's lived different experiences. Everyone's done different things. Everyone's tried different things. Everyone's got different tastes. Everyone's got different belief systems. Everyone's got different confidence. Everyone's got different eyes. Everyone's got different everything, right? So everyone's come to their own truth based on this moment, right? Because we only live in the moment. We only live in this moment. There's nothing yesterday. There's nothing tomorrow. There's only this moment. Jesus didn't die 2,000 years ago. He died today. All right? Christmas wasn't yesterday. Christmas isn't in September in 3 months. Christmas is today. Easter isn't next year in March. Okay, if today was January, Easter isn't in April. Easter is in January. There is no tomorrow. Easter happens today. Easter is always today. Christmas is always today. Everything happens today. Dinosaurs didn't die trillions of years ago. Dinosaurs died today. Like, that's how I look at life, because today is happening, right? There's nothing tomorrow. There's nothing in the past. And that's what Eckhart Tolle teaches, right? He doesn't teach this specifically like about Jesus and dinosaurs, right? Because I've never heard him say that. But when you think about it, dinosaurs live today. They died today, right? Which is amazing to think that dinosaurs died today. They didn't die yesterday. There's nothing that happened yesterday, right? If you're going to think about yesterday, then make sure you're better than yesterday, right? Make sure you're better than the future. There you go. And to be better than the past and yesterday is to be better than yourself, so that then you can be better for other people, all right? But it's not about being better for other people. What I mean is about being better than yourself so that you can go out and motivate other people. The better you are for yourself is the better you are for other people. But you're not doing it for other people, you're doing it for yourself, right? You're motivating yourself for other people, all right? Even though you think you're doing it for yourself, all right? So never think that you're doing anything for other people. That's what I'm saying. It may get confusing, sometimes contradictory or something like that, but I always give you the message that you need to really know. When you are doing something in life, when you are making a decision, do it for yourself. Number one, make yourself number one. Never put your mum above you. Never put your sister above you. Never put your wife above you. Never put anyone above you, because when you start doing that, when someone has the number one spot in your life that isn't you, guess what happens? You start giving that person everything and they fuck you off. And guess what happens? You've been neglecting yourself while you've been giving everything to that other person, and then you've been losing your health because of you, not because of anyone else. You've been losing your health for someone that you love that doesn't give a fuck about you. This person has basically loved themselves and put themselves first, while you put them first, while you neglected yourself. Never neglect yourself, because that is the true beginning of suicide. When you put others first, that's when you commit suicide. If you look at Robin Williams, this guy was amazing. This guy was basically a person who was a comedian. He was very funny. He would go around the world. He would go around the world literally, inspiring millions of people, making everyone else happy, doing everything for everyone else, and in the end he killed himself. Because guess what? He put everyone else first above himself. And that's not the way to live life. That's not the way to die. The way to die is health first. Always. Put your health first. Look, if you have alcohol as a priority in your life, you don't have health as a priority. You cannot have health and have drugs. What do you want? It's about picking and choosing. If you wanna, for example, become independent, what do you want? Do you want the car and live with your dad? Or do you want to become independent and drive a scooter? A little push scooter. Would you rather live alone with a push scooter in your own room with 100% privacy, without your father or mother or sister, just you, and you can bring a woman home or a guy home or whatever? Or do you want to drive a little fucking Mercedes Benz but live with your parents and be broke? What would you rather choose? Would you downsize your Mercedes Benz to drive a push scooter? That's what I'm asking you. Because guess what? In today's world, you have to downsize some things in life so that you can make way for other things. That's the way life is. So where am I getting with all this? The point is, you have to move forward. All right? That's what I'm saying. If you want to become independent, you have to move forward. But once you become independent, you're in a better position to motivate yourself. All right? Because once you are independent, you are able to basically motivate yourself even more than when you are dependent. So next, when you are from independence, you have to move into interdependence. But when you are moving into interdependence, which is the next step, that is when you have to work with other people, right? So the whole goal of being in independence is to move into managing other people and basically leading other people, all right? Yes, you are independent right now. You're leading yourself. When you are dependent, other people are leading you. Then you move into independence. That is the true mark of when you are leading yourself. All right, that's the next step forward. The next step forward, to move from independence, you have to go into interdependence. And now you have to learn to lead yourself enough to lead other people. That's the next beginning. All right, the best beginning is interdependence. You want to be in the last stage of life. And that last stage of life can happen for you when you're 20. You can be leading a big organization with 1,000 employees at 24 years old. So where am I getting with all this? Because to lead 1,000 people, you have to motivate others. All right? So when you start in independence, that's when you start leading yourself. And by leading yourself, you are actually motivating yourself. All right? That's the beginning and the true mark of who you're going to become. All right? But look, you cannot get into independence without dependence. So everything that happened in the past in your life, you have to accept it, and you have to work with who you are now to work and expand your reality, your context, your vocabulary to become who you actually want to become even more. All right, so you have to become better than the person you are today. The reason I make this video for you is because I want to give you an idea. One idea, fucking take it home. One idea from this video, whatever it is. So you can take it home and you can teach your family, you can teach your kids, you can teach your mom or dad, you can teach your sister, your friends, your whoever you want, right? Because the true mark of motivating others is going from dependence to interdependence. But then once you reach independence, that's when true learning starts, always. When you can move into interdependence. But then what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose a scooter, a push scooter, or are you going to choose a Mercedes-Benz? Because if you said Mercedes-Benz, I swear, then guess what? You're going to live with your dad and mum. And guess what? Your mum and dad are only ever going to motivate you to a certain degree. They can motivate you and then suddenly, no more. They will not be able to influence you to go up more. You have to influence yourself to find other people who can lift you up. And that's why you have to move away from your parents, because your parents are dragging you down from that point on. Yes, if you are down here and your parents are up here, it's good to stay with your parents until you reach this level. Once you're level with your parents, no more, you have to move out. That's the way it is. But as soon as you move out and you start living alone, that's when independence starts. That's when you start leading yourself and motivating yourself even more. That's when you become much more stronger. That's when you become much more disciplined. It takes more discipline to motivate others than it does to not do it. It's easier to stay away from motivating others than it is to motivate others. Obviously, when you can do the harder things in life that are more necessary, the easier your life is going to be. If you can be disciplined in yourself to be better than you are, but you can discipline yourself, you can actually discipline yourself to stay away from things in life so that you can move ahead. That is the true mark of a person and a leader who is going to go out and influence the world into a better world. Because imagine leaving a legacy of the best inspirational person on the planet for the 21st century. Like, come on, man. Like, that's the epitome of where you want to be. You want to cement your legacy, right? If you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, like this guy, like, fuck, he's killing it out there. He's killing the soccer industry, right? And the soccer players. The guys he can score freaking 80 goals for Real Madrid. Like, in a record. He makes the records over there. He's making records. He's not mucking around. He plays for fucking history. He doesn't play for a game. He plays for the history, to cement his fucking history in the fucking world. So that's what you want to be doing. That's why you need to motivate others, because if you ever want to become an influencer in life, if you ever want to become someone, if you ever want to have the woman, if you ever want to do anything in life, you have to be able to motivate others. You have to be able to influence. You have to be able to get yourself and your ass into 1,000 employees who are working for you. Because guess what? As soon as 1,000 employees are working for you, that's what they call an entrepreneur. All right? An entrepreneur is basically someone who problem solves. That's all it is. A person who is an entrepreneur is a person who can solve a problem. And I'm sure that you can solve problems. We're all entrepreneurs, but no, we are not. An entrepreneur is defined as someone who is financially free. All right? Because guess what? There are many people, so-called entrepreneurs out there, but they're not really entrepreneurs because they're still working a 9-to-5 job. And an entrepreneur has people working for him. Right? An entrepreneur is someone who solves problems. Yes, it's easy to solve a problem, but it's not so easy to have 1,000 employees working for you. But that's the happiness inside that. Imagine having that lifestyle. Imagine 1,000 people you're paying from your pockets for their families to live their life, but they're boosting your business so that you go out and inspire millions of people. And that's what an entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur basically sums up all these people to work for that person so that this person can focus on major things like Tony Robbins, right? Because when you go out and motivate and inspire others to do better, to take action, to live better than they are, that's when you can say that you are actually doing everything in life. You're giving people the vibes. You're giving people what they need to be. You're giving people the attitude. You're giving people charisma. You're giving people yourself. It always comes back to you. It always comes back to the person you want to be. Who do you want to be in life? Do you want to be better or do you want to be worse? You have to choose. If you want worse, drink alcohol. If you want worse, do cigarettes. If you want worse, do illegal drugs. You cannot have better with drugs. Sorry. Like, what do you want? If you want fitness girlfriend, you cannot be fat. It doesn't work. If you are 100 kilos, you deserve someone who is 100 kilos. Sorry, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. If you want better, you become better. You attract who you want to be. You attract who you want others by your side. If you become a 10, you're going to attract 10s around you because that's what you are. You attract who you are all the time. If you're a junkie, you'll be surrounded by junkies. If you're a millionaire, you'll be surrounded by millionaires. If you're independent, you'll be surrounded by people who are independent. Whatever you are in life is basically the decisions you've made to get to this point. So your life is based on the past 5 years of your life is based on who you are today. All right, your whole life in the past is based on who you are today, right? But let's look at your past 5 years. The habits that you have in your past 5 years is the habits you're going to have in the next 5 years. So now you have to look in your life and in your past habits about what you're doing so that you can change those habits to make a better future. And once you start changing habits, that's when you start becoming a much more positive influencer because you're doing much better habits in life. It all starts with your habits. The better habits you have, the better influencer you're going to make, the better person you're going to make, the better attitude you're going to have, the more alpha male or alpha woman you're going to be, the more of an influencer you're going to be, the better communicator you're going to be, the better you're going to know what you're going to say, the more you can rap like Eminem. All right, like for example, the more you can vibe, the more you can play a state of trance like Armin van Buuren does. The guy is amazing, right? He made a genre, right? He brought it to life, a genre, trance. Armin van Buuren, right? He plays a state of trance. Tony Robbins plays a state of trance when he gets in the motivational seminar. And everyone's on trance. Everyone's on a state of trance when Tony Robbins speaking. All right, when Grant Cardone's speaking. Man, these guys are the heroes of my life, for example. They're the guys who got me to this stage in life. They're the guys who are going to get me in the next stage, and the next stage, and the next stage. Their knowledge never ends for me. These guys I trust all the time. They always lift me up. They always got something to feed me. And that's the kind of people you have to be around. All right? And I'm not saying that you have to be literally in their face. You have access to any person and any influencer right now at the click of a button. You can just go on YouTube and you can be with Tony Robbins right now. All you have to do is listen to him. You don't have to be in his house eating dinner with his family. That's different, right? If you want the best mind in the world, you have to listen to the best minds of the world. If you want to be the best athlete in the world, you have to learn from the best athletes in the world. If you want to be the best chiropractor in the world, you have to learn from the best chiropractors in the world. If you want to be the best influencer in the world, you have to learn from people who are the best influencers in the world. So if you want to become a best singer in the world, you have to learn from people who are the best singers in the world. If you want to be the best electronic artist in the world, you have to learn from people who are the best electronic artists in the world. So that's all I'm saying, right? Who is it that you want to be? Because whoever you be determines how you motivate people, all right? Whoever you want to be, right, is based on the wisdom that you accumulate. You are the recollection of what you've learned in life. So if you've learned more about cars than anything, that is your go-to mark. That's what you do, right? If you've learned more about motivation in life, that's where you go. Just go and teach motivation. That's your craft, right? Do your craft. All right. So guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I can keep talking, I can keep going. And all I want for you guys is to take something from this video. I hope that you guys have taken something from this video so that you can go out and better the world through what I've said in this video. Also guys, at the bottom of this video, I have 3,003 quotes to keep you going. All right. I help motivate you guys. All you guys need to do is just go click on the link and click download, and basically 1,001 quotes are straight to your iPhone or Android. And you can keep going, you can keep reading. I've got so much life skills, so much things to teach you, so much finance, so much nutritional skills in the future. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please also get my book, which is below. If you guys ever want to get my book, it's called Ultimate Road to Success. You can find an ebook on Amazon and also the audiobook, which is for free on the audible.com site. All you have to do is press the trial link, sign up for a free trial for the first 30 days. You get a free credit. That free credit, you can purchase my book with it. And then each moment on from then, you pay 15 bucks. But the 15 bucks is the best investment in your mindset, man. Look, if you're not going to read my book, make sure that you read books every day. Anyway, regardless, make sure that you're reading every single day 1 hour. It's the best investment in yourself. And don't just read on ×1, read on 3.5 times. Read faster. Read so much faster. You can check out my previous playlists, my previous video on basically reading faster. And also my ebook, which is 99 cents on Amazon. It's an ebook. If you guys like to physically read, you got that also. But I always suggest to read audibly because there's so much more variety that you can add to life with that. And also I have a nutritional podcast below. There's going to be so much going on in the world of nutrition for me. Basically, I'm the person who is destined for today to be able to push forward the nutritional powerhood and make more people aware of veganism and force no one to become a vegan, but also just to get that information out there so that I can also expand my life and expand millions of people's lives and help people lose weight, which is basically what I'm here to do. So this is just one part of the things that I like to do, but there's so much more that I like to expand on. I like to go on nutrition, I like to go on life skills, I like to go on finance, I like to read on a daily basis, I like to do all kinds of things. I'm not just interested in 1, 2, 3 subjects in life. I like so many positive subjects in life, so I stick to so many things, and I try to do what Brian Tracy said, and he said basically, if you have a subject, learn 1% of that subject and no more. Like all the subjects in the world, learn 1%, and that's all you need to be the person who you want to be. If you know 40% on one subject, but you know nothing else on any other subjects, like there's no point to life. So always try to learn a bit about everything, and that's the person you're going to become, and that's the person who you want to be. You want to be able to be the person who learns about everything in life and not just one thing. And also guys, if you guys like my video today, please subscribe to my video and please leave a comment in the section below. If you have any questions for me, I'll make a video based on your questions. For me, I love to do this, so anything you want to know, maybe you can think of it, I'll give you a bit of time to think about it. Anything that's come up, any questions in this video, please give me a little, hey Danny, please solve this question for me. I'd like to answer it for you, and also I'll tag your Instagram, I'll promote you and stuff like that. Anyway guys, this has been vlog 15, and I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.